Hey, Fat Albert, how's it going, everybody out there in the Black Gay Comic Geek world? It's been a while since I've gone live on the channel, but with that said, welcome to my safe Gaven, everybody. If this is your first time checking me out on the live, especially since it's been a while, hey, how's it going? My name is Black Gay Comic Geek. I always say things I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic. So I like to talk superheroes, video games, comic books, action movies, basically nerd stuff. And of course, I like to talk about Black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested, do me a favor, become one of my subscribers. Help me grow the channel so I can become like one of my guests on here who's a superstar who has over 20,000 followers. Everybody knows who this person is. I'm trying to get like her, trying to be like her when I grow up. Oh, I'm like spitting on the camera, like, clearly I need to do better if I want to try to be like her. But anyway, guys, we are here to talk about the very first episode, just the first episode of Avatar the Last Airbender, titled Aang. Got my shirt going on, and being that he is an airbender, got my Avatar the Last Airbender cup, and I got some support right here with Momo and Appa in the background. But yeah, guys, as you already know, I don't like to do these lives alone. So we got some very special guests here in the chat. But before I bring them on, even though this is a live, even though it's going to be a conversation between me and the guests, it's not just a conversation between me and the guests. That's why we have the live chat. So if you watch Avatar the Last Airbender, which I hope you have, because why were you watching? Because it was full spoiler review. But leave your comments in the chat. Let me know what you thought about this first episode and the series in general. And if there's a comment or a suggestion or anything like that that you want to get out to us, I will be trying to pay attention to the chat. But if you want to support the stream, support your boy, you do me a favor, hit us with a super chat. It's not expected, but it is greatly appreciated. So with that said, we are going to bring on one of the cosplayers who she cosplayed recently as Toph Beifong. It went pretty viral on the interwebs. She's been on the channel multiple times before, whether it was to talk about Scream 7, Scream 6, whatever the hell number Scream is. You know how many Screams they got? We talked about The Last of Us and plenty of other stuff. She is a DIY fanatic and debutante. And a lot of people, I wish I was as talented as her, but let's bring on Vanta Creates.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for that intro. I feel like your intros are the best. Like, I need you to be my
always on the fly. I'm just like, I hope I don't mess it up.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody.
Introduce yourself for the people.
It's Vanta Creates, your girl, your favorite DIY queen. And I'm excited to talk about my favorite show, Avatar. Yes, I'm dressed as Toph today. I know she hasn't made her appearance yet, but don't worry. She's coming. I'm sure next season she'll be.
Uh-oh, she froze. There you go. Wait, there you're back. You're back. Yeah, you froze, but you're back. You're back. Yeah, you're back. All right.
Good.
So with that said, next person. Oh, what were you saying? Uh-oh, you froze again. But this is what happens when you go live.
No, you're good.
Stuff happens. But with that said, next person we are bringing onto the stream. Like I said, she is famous. She's the most famous person that's on this stream. I'm trying to be like her. She's on red carpet. She's interviewing Zendaya. She got to talk to my husband, Chris Evans. Like, what did you do? Like, one of these days, and we met in person and we've interacted. She came to my birthday last year. But one of these days we're going to fight because she keeps trying to take my men's. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, but anyway, let's bring on the famous, the fabulous, the illustrious, the magnanimous, the wonderful Sharronda from Pay Your Weight.
First of all, I felt personally attacked. How for your husbands, okay?
That's so funny.
Taking my men's.
Hey, leave some for me, honey.
Nah, I'm the youngest, so I'm spoiled. Like I need what's that Old Town song? 'Cause I want it all or nothing at all. So I need everything.
Way back, Old Town. Okay,
yeah, that's a throwback. Any Gen Zs that are in the chat, they like Old Town. Who the hell is that?
Old Town.
Yeah. But with that said, Sharronda, introduce yourself to the men's and women's and theys and stuff out there.
I am Sharronda Williams. I have a YouTube channel called Pay or Wait. And I'm just trying to get my life together, y'all. You can tell by how I look. But yeah, I'm happy to be on your channel. Is this the first time I've been on your channel or the second time?
No, not the first time. It's the second time.
Second time. Okay. I'm just happy that you even invited me back. Thank you. It only took a year.
First of all, I haven't been on your channel yet. Like, this is your second time on my channel. When have you been on mine?
When have I been on yours?
Well, you need to talk about stuff that I watch.
Shoot.
BlackGayComicGeek. I mean, great. I am watching Love Is Blind though. I still didn't watch 7 through 9, but Matthew got to get. I wasn't a fan of that, especially Jeremy. Like, they all need to go. All the men's are trash. Anyway, who's not trash is the Avatar. So let's talk about.
It's the Avatar. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, guys, my non-spoiler review is up. So you pretty much already got, which hopefully you watched it. But if you didn't, you're anti-Black, and it is Black History Month. Go watch my non-spoiler review. But and for the algorithm, for the all gay rhythm. But so we're not going to give my thoughts on Avatar: The Last Airbender, but just in general. So, Sharronda, what did you think about this season of Avatar: The Last Airbender? And then we'll get into the first episode, because there's a lot of mixed, and lately I've been seeing a lot of negative reviews regarding this season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, all I'm seeing, and I don't know if it's just my algorithm, I'm just seeing nothing but negative reviews. So what do you think about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action, not to be confused with the movie that shall not be named?
I think that everybody just woke up and wanted to be a hater, because I liked it. It took a while to find its way, but I felt like the second half is definitely way stronger than the first half. But I liked it. I thought that they did the best that they could do. I do have like little quabbles about the season, but overall, I thought it was actually good. I don't know why people are complaining. I honestly think that they owe them an apology. And I think people just need to admit that they woke up and just wanted to hate on something. It's just like, just watch it. Watch it, and if you hate it after you watch it, then fine, I'll let it slide. But a lot of people woke up wanting to be haters.
I completely agree with that. So next, Vanta, what do you think about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the season, and then, you know, just in general, this live action adaptation?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear this. Yeah, sorry, I froze again. Yeah, I'm having activity issues. I think as a whole, we don't talk about the movie that it was named.
You froze again.
Yeah, so, I think as a whole, I really enjoyed. Am I good? You can hear me?
It's going in and out. Like right now, I don't see you move. Like you're completely frozen, and I can't hear you at all. All right, well, let's keep it rolling, because it is live. This is Murphy's Law. So anyway, so really quick, so I'll say, like, there is a lot of haters in terms of like this first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and a lot of people is like, and granted, some of the criticisms are my criticisms. Like, it's not as joyful as the original cartoon, but it's also not a cartoon, so it's real life, so it's not going to be as joyful as the original cartoon. Like, or yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind that it's more. What just happened? Anyway, I don't mind that it was more serious in tone, because it's not. This show isn't appealing to kids. It's appealing to adults. So much so when you see in that first episode, because we're talking about first episode, again, spoilers, but Fire Lord Sozin burned somebody alive. Like, he like cooked that, like, barbecue style, that earthbender guy. And so this is clearly not your kids' version of Avatar. The tone is way different, because the kids and the people that grew up with Avatar, we're adults now. And so they're trying to appeal to us, not the kids that have watched the show. And so you see a lot of people that are complaining about that, but also at the same time, it's like, but I like that.
But did they even watch it? Because I feel like most of the people that were complaining still hadn't watched the show.
Yeah, like, I agree.
See somebody that watched the show say that it was bad.
Or they watched one episode and just said, oh, I'm not watching the rest. I didn't like it.
Yeah, so I just feel like everybody trying to be haters. And I like that it was darker, because, you know, when I was sitting there thinking about it, you know, I used to love Uncle. I used to love Unc. And then when I thought about it, I was like, dang, like, he really ain't ish. Like, my man was killing people. He was burning people.
Yeah, people are coming after me because I made a video on TikTok. Basically, was like, and I included myself in this. I was like, yeah, we love Uncle Iroh, But you gotta really think, like, the man's a war criminal.
Literally,
like, he killed people. So like,
and he only stopped when the son got killed.
yeah, he only stopped because his son got killed. Like, that's not accountability. Like, Leaves on the Vine. Yeah, I cry. And when they played it in like episode, what was that? That episode 4 or 5, whatever, where they had the song playing in the background. I felt myself tearing up a little bit, but I was still just like, Uncle Iroh's trash. But yeah, it looks like we're good again. So yeah, Vanta, what are you saying about your thoughts about Avatar this season?
I think the season is good. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's just good. Costuming wise, I think some of the costumes are beautiful, and then some of them are kind of a miss. I think some of the action sequences were incredible. Firebenders, they got them on point. But then the airbenders kind of weren't hidden for me. Some of Aang's scenes, choreography wise, wasn't the best. The kids, they're great. They're kids. They're gonna grow into their characters. Their acting was a little overacted, but I think it's a good first season. I think there's room for growth. I think it could be better, but there are some changes from the original that I didn't love.
All right, and we're gonna get into that as we get into each subsequent episode.
Oh,
so guys, hit that bell notification button, because every Monday at maybe 7 p.m., maybe 7:30, it depends. But every week, every Monday, we'll be going live to talk about each episode for Avatar the Last Airbender. So this week is episode 1, next week is 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So with that said, so let's get into episode 1. So we started with the opening. We jumped back 100 years ago, where we get to see kind of like the genesis of the war against the Air Nomads, where we see that an earthbender is being chased, and we get to see some of the bending in the very beginning. And I thought, like, and granted, and I think Sharronda, this was for you too. When I first saw, because I saw it like a month ago, and the copy that I had, the VFX weren't done.
Damn.
So there were certain moments where I got to see like green screen, storyboards, all of that stuff. But even still, with those storyboards and the undone VFX, I still feel like the bending, especially when you compare it to the movie that shall not be named, I think the bending looks really good. There are some moments with the CGI, especially like when we jump to the air temple and we see Aang like flying through the air, gliding through the air. It doesn't look as good, but overall, I think the bending looks pretty dope. Like, Sharronda, what do you think about this opening sequence between this random earthbender and these firebenders?
I liked it. I thought it was dope. I mean, it's nice to see how the effects actually were going to like come out.
Hey, look, celebrity. Oh my God, hey Sharronda. They didn't say hey Mike. Look, he said hey Sharronda, hey Vanta, not hey Michael. Rude. Homophobia.
Here you go. I think that I like the opening of it. I like that it kind of established that this was going to be a more serious tone. I think it did what it needed to do. I mean, did it prepare me for like the 20 minutes of genocide afterwards? It didn't, but like it kind of got me to realize like, oh, like this is like for real. Like we out here murking people, like fine. But I was just like, okay, like I'm here for this. Like, go ahead, y'all. Y'all better do y'all bending.
Thank you, Jessica. Oh, hey, Michael. I appreciate the love. But yeah, Vanta, what do you think about this opening moment? Especially then you get to that moment where Fire Lord Sozin burnt that man alive. That was the moment I was just like, oh, crazy. So this is what we doing on this show?
Right. I was just like, oh, so we burning people's okay, that's new. I thought the opening sequence was really good. I just watched X-Men 2. So, you know, the scene with Nightcrawler and he comes and he busts into the president's office. It was giving that vibe. It was kind of on that level. They started very action paced. They wanted to show you this is real. We are adults. We're dealing with adult content. It's not just for kids. And I thought in the beginning, the bending looked pretty good. I was excited to see an earthbender because, you know, earthbender gang. But seeing Sozin and the way he's manipulating the whole thing and his planning was good to see. I was pretty impressed with that. Didn't like his wig, but pretty impressed with everything so far.
Wait, whose wig?
Sozin. That's Sozin, right? Yeah, Sozin.
Yeah, Sozin.
You didn't like it?
No, that was not a lace front.
People complain about Yue's wig, but we'll get to that when we get to.
We will get to that.
We'll get to that when we get to episode 8. But yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna just say this: And I was like, considering, because we pretty much all seen the whole season, but I was like, for Sokka to go from Suki was gorgeous. And then I was like, I don't think Yue is that cute. I was like, how you gonna pick her over? But anyway, yeah, I was like, I don't think, not that she's ugly, nothing against the actress, but I was just like, you chose her over
over her. You chose Moon Girl.
look at Sharronda. Sharronda, like, I feel the same shit. I'm saying nothing. But yeah, I was like, dang.
Dang. Yue's wig was giving Tyler Perry.
But yeah, we're not talking about that. We'll get to that when we get to episode 8. But I just had to say that. But yeah, so then the thing I like about this first episode is we're getting to see things that we never really got to see touched on in the original animated series. Like we got to see some of Fire Lord Sozin's plans. We got to see his interaction with Roku. But we never got to see any of the attack on the Earth Kingdom. And I thought, especially the way it was depicted, I thought it looked good. And like, and this is one of my biggest criticisms regarding the show overall. Like, I felt like, and the reason I bring this up, even though it's part of the first episode, because you really get to see Aang. He's like moping the entire time. Like, because people are like, oh, we don't get to see his playfulness, his joyfulness. Like when he first came out of that ice, he was like, I want to go penguin sledding. And we don't really see that version of Aang. But it's like also, and this is something that I didn't like really take into account until I saw an interview with Gordon Colmier, who plays Avatar Aang, the actor. But he was like, what I really wanted to do and to dive into to make this show really different than the animated series is I wanted to show that Aang is affected by the fact that his entire people were genocided. He is literally Avatar the Last Airbender. He's the only one. The moment he comes out the ice, he pretty much finds out that his people haven't been seen in 100 years. And it was at that moment that I kind of realized it makes sense, because I was like, why is he complaining the whole show? Like, I'm tired of him complaining the whole show. But then it's like, he's a 12-year-old boy that found out his entire people were wiped out. Of course he's going to be complaining. He's not going to want to go penguin sledding. And then also when you add in the extra element, it's not a cartoon. The show isn't appealing to children. So it's not going to be as extra as over the top as it would be in a show. Like, I don't know, Sharronda, do you feel the same way, or what do you think about?
I mean, I do. I think that, and that's why I like that Netflix has decided to still continue on with the animated series, but also have this live action series. I think that everything doesn't have to be playful. I do feel like I think tonally the series was kind of off the first half of the season. And I felt like then, like kind of once we got into the episodes actually being narrated, and it kind of got back into that feel where everything that Aang and Zuko and Sokka and all of them went through, it was for a lesson. It was something that they learned about themselves, something that helped them keep going on this ultimate journey. I think that's when it kind of found its pacing. But I think in order for them to help the audience realize that this is live action, so this has to follow some sense of the realities of people being murdered before your eyes, of, Katara and Sokka's parents being murdered and killed by the firebenders. It has to have some sense of seriousness, at least until they kind of figure out who they're starting to be on their own.
And yeah, like Shamir said, they are children at war. It makes sense that some of the humor would have to die down. He's 12. Baby boy feels lost in the wrong time. And also, like me as a grown 38-year-old man, if they told me that I have what it takes to stop whatever's going on in Palestine, # free Palestine, I just need to go over and take out the IDF and Benjamin Netanyahu, I'd be like, me? Who me? Send somebody else. Like, absolutely not. So imagine a 12-year-old boy being told that. Like, so I get him whining and complaining and being upset and fearful the entire.
Who was just chilling. Like, my man was just playing with his friends the day before. Okay. Like,
look at Ron. Look at Ron. Coming back from he in Vegas, coming in the chat. Thank you for the compliment. If you're trying to holler, just say so. Just slide in my DMs.
Crying. No, it's crazy. So when I did a rewatch recently, and in the first episode, I'm like, yeah, but you, the Avatar, like, your people have been eliminated. I thought he would be more sad. So hearing you say, like, oh, you were not surprised, but, realizing, okay, his whole people were taken out. Like, he's feeling the grief. I'm glad that they depicted that more in the show because I wanted more of that in the original series. Yeah, he had his moments, especially when he goes in the Avatar state, when he's, like, really upset and distraught. But I wanted more of that, and I'm glad we're feeling that because I think that helps with the weight of the show. As somebody had just said, he's 12, he's a kid, he's still trying to figure himself out and figure out the world. And for them to turn around and be like, yeah, you about to save the whole world. No, I would run away. I would also be in the ice for 100 years. Goodbye, I'm not doing it.
Agreed. And speaking of feeling the weight of things, this is one thing I also appreciated about the show that we really get to see in this episode more so is like fire burns, fire singes, fire hurts.
Yeah.
And granted, obviously it's an animated show, it's a cartoon, it's meant for kids, but you don't really get to see that in the car. Like when you get hit by fire, you're just like, but like this, we get to see the scorch marks. We get to see
they were crispy.
Yeah, they were crisp. The costumes, like all of it, like
yeah.
And that's something that I really appreciated, that we get to see how damaging and how dangerous and how consuming fire is.
Yeah.
Especially with that fight that we got to see with the Air Nomads. I do wish, and I get it's they do it for the air, but I do wish we got to see more of the air. Like, because there's certain moments where they're airbending and they're just like, but it's like I don't see the effect. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I do wish they like fixed. Sharronda, did you like feel the same way with the guards? Because like when Aang stopped Zuko, when he was like, leave him alone, he like did something with the staff. It's just like the cast was just jumping, like, but I didn't see any air, so it's just like, show me the air, like.
I didn't have any issues with the whole air thing. I was just more so annoyed because I didn't do a rewatch before I did the live action. So I was like, damn, like, when is Aang gonna figure out how to learn how to do everything else? Like, I was just kind of confused with that. But then I had to remember, I was like, did he learn anything in the first season?
No, the first season he was kind of training with Katara, but he never like learned. Yeah. He never learned as fast as she did.
And she was really huffing it and learning herself. She's like, I'm gonna steal this scroll so I can learn waterbending, and I'm gonna be good at this. And he was like,
so she had the scroll. She was learning how to do what Aang would just like learn here and there, but not really. It wasn't until the end of the season that he really started to practice. But
that pissed me off. I know we're not talking about the last episode, but that really pissed. Like, baby, when I said I was ready to shake him, I was like, my man. So you knew you was the Avatar. Y'all knew who y'all was looking for. You saw the destruction, and not one time around all these different people did you want to learn how to bend.
But yeah, no, I felt the same way because that's one change that I didn't like about this show, because we never get to see Aang do any of the other elements. He's doing air the whole time. But in the cartoon, we see him training a little bit with Katara. We see when he gets to the Northern Water Tribe, he trains a little bit with Master Paku and learning how to do water bending. But like in this show, we never see him do water at all. He's the master of the four elements. We don't see that at all. The only time we see him
at this point, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but we don't even see him attempt any of the other elements.
He's not even a novice. He's just
I believe in season 1 we saw him try firebending, and then he couldn't, like, that's when he burnt Katara.
Yes.
But like we don't see him do anything in this show, just air. And the only time we see it is when he gets taken over by Kyoshi in episode 2. But like, I would like to have seen him do some waterbending. Even when you get to like a later episode, I know we're not talking about it, but when Katara's like, you should probably learn how to do these, learn waterbending along with me. He's like, nah, I'm good. Nigga, like what?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? You are the master of the four elements. You have to save everybody. You need to be getting it together. Like, why are we playing games right now? Please get it together.
Exactly. We could have got some water. The first book is it's called Water.
It's called Water.
And we barely saw him do any water. It was mostly Katara. And I get why they want to do that. They want to show, because we only got 8 episodes. We don't got 20 episodes like the original cartoon. So we gotta. So I will say the pacing throughout the season was a little off. Because of, especially Katara. Like, granted, we got to see her growth, throughout most of the show, but like it was way too rushed, and certain moments didn't land as.
Did we see her growth? Because my girl went from like 0 to 100. Like
she did, but every episode was like more and more and more and more.
And she like sending spikes of ice in the like. I was like.
But yeah, but every episode she was able to do more and more and more and more. Like the first episode, she brought that thing up to stop Zuko's thing. She couldn't do that in the beginning. And then she was doing more in the next episode and then more in the next episode. It was just like, we only got 8 episodes. It's like this season should have at least been 12 episodes, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Because you can't go from 20 episodes to 8. At least do, I don't know, 10 so you could break it down a little bit easier. But 8's not enough. Not nearly enough. They rush too many things in it, I find.
Yeah, I agree. So after the fight with the Air Nomads, and also let me also bring this up. I didn't like how Monk Gyatso went out. Monk Gyatso, he went out like a bitch. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
he did. Like when you think about when they went to the Southern Air Temple and you saw Monk Gyatso's skeleton, like there's talks that like he took out all those firebenders because he sucked out all the oxygen from the room, taking himself out as well. So there were mad firebender bodies in that room
around
with
him.
him.
Yep.
But we didn't see him take out anybody. Like he just like blew some air, made them fall, and then Fire Lord Sozin came out like Hadouken, like, and that was the end. I was just like, come on, man, like he could at least taken out.
And he's very powerful, so like, why did he get taken out so quickly?
And I get the firebenders got the comet, so they're juiced up, they're super saiyan, but I still would have liked to have seen Monk Gyatso take out
Nitros.
Yeah, I would like to have seen him take out some more people. Sharronda, like, nah, I ain't have a problem with it. Trash.
I mean, now that you explain it, like, yeah. I mean, because if you're going to show them get murdered for 20 minutes, at least let them have a moment. Like, give them a hero moment before.
Yeah, like, I know they all die at that. We know they die. It's Avatar the Last Airbender. We know how it ends. Still, yeah, I would have liked to have seen.
They can die without looking like, I don't want to say looking like a little bitch, but yeah, like you can give them a hero's death. You can make them look powerful.
Because in my personal opinion, I think air is honestly the most deadly element, and I feel like that's kind of why the air nomads are like pacifists, are monks, because like you need air for fire, you need air for, and then also with water, they need their like if I don't have water around, I'm essentially powerless. Mm-hmm. Like we learned that Katara could pull water out the air, but it's not that much she can pull. But like air, you always have your element. And before Toph, earthbenders, they needed to be on the ground. You couldn't be, but you always have air available to you. And so you could suck the air out of people's lungs. Like air is deadly. But I wish we got to have seen that with this fight.
And that's such an interesting question, because I don't disagree with you. I just don't know if I think air is more deadly than fire, because we can see clearly from this episode what the damage fire can do. So I don't know. To me, it's like a toss up between fire and air.
Yeah, but also like with fire, like it's more obviously deadly, but like fire needs air to spread. Fire needs air to propagate, and then also with enough air, you can blow fire out.
That's fair. No, that's right.
I do wish we got to see more of a fight with the Air Nomads. But yeah, I wish Monk Gyatso, that's all. That's only my biggest complaint. I just wanted to see Monk Gyatso take out some niggas, like take out some firebenders. That's really all. But then
a question.
What were you about to say? Go ahead.
So maybe because I missed it in the original series, but I didn't know that there were female monks.
Yeah, remember Avatar Yang Chen? She was a female.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Because I was like, because I saw they said like, oh, men and women, let's go. And I saw one of the female monks, and I'm like, was she in the original? And I just don't remember. But when you say the name, now I remember. Okay, cool.
But yeah, there were female monks. They just don't go into like how the parents, because obviously they fucking, because like how do they procreate? But they don't really go into like, after you have a kid, like who decide, like, was Aang even born in the Southern Air Temple, or did they give him away? Like, they don't really go into that whole
I have
thing.
So many questions about like how the monks do procreate, because for the longest I'm thinking, I'm like, so do they have kids? Like, yeah, like you said, obviously they're fucking, but where do their babies go? Do they raise their babies there? Like, what's the whole deal there? Because they never explain it.
They don't. But yeah, so going into the to after the fight, we get to see 100 years later, we jump to Wolf Cove with Sokka and Katara, and we get to the opening of the like kind of the first episode, how the first episode of the animated series ends, where they find Aang. He comes out of the air temple. We get to see Zuko, and I will say, out of all the characters and all the cast, we can talk about the cast, but Zuko, or the actor that plays Zuko, Dallas Liu, he's my favorite. I like him.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, what do you think about Dallas, or who's your favorite in the cast, Sharronda?
I mean, out of the main people, it would have to be him. I think that they did really great character development with him. I think him and Aang probably had the best character development out of all of the cast in this season. I would honestly say they were the only two that had character development the entire season.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. All the Zuko actors have D names: Dave Patel, Dante Bosco, and Dallas Liu.
Crazy.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite. And you could see like moments, like even when he saw Aang and he's like, I've been training to hunt the Avatar. Then he's like, this is a kid. Like you can kind of see the conflict in his eyes because he's still all about honor and stuff like that. There's like a moment, there's like a slight moment of hesitation. I'm like, he is acting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Exactly. And it's funny because I've talked about this in videos, but I think Zuko's now my favorite character. When I first watched the series as a kid, I thought he was annoying. I'm like, my honor. I'm like, shut up. But now I think as an adult, I like him a lot more, and I like his character development. But he's a very good actor, because that split moment, he's like, wait a minute, I gotta kill him. He's not as old as I thought. And I'm enjoying seeing him develop and seeing his mind and seeing his anger, his frustration. You can see it. He has his expressions are on his face a lot, so you can tell his confliction and honestly a little bit of grief of dealing with looking for the Avatar for 3 years, but a tiny bit of relief realizing, oh wait, I finally found him.
We'll get to that when we get to episode 4, but I definitely teared up a little bit. Leaves on the line.
Yeah, that scene was beautiful.
One thing I will say though, I'm not a fan. Like his scar is way too light. I wish they would have darkened it a little bit more. There are certain moments where I'm like, is it still there? Is it still there? Like, I can't see it.
No,
I think it should have been darker and should have been more redder.
Darker, and it should have been more pronounced, because and honestly, that's how I feel about Aang's tattoos as well. I don't like the pigment they used for them. I feel like
want it to be a lighter blue.
No, I just wanted it to look like tattoos, because it looks like a sticker. Like it looks like it was painted. It doesn't look like a tattoo. I think that they didn't really get the color scheme right. And even with Aang's robes, they're kind of bright. I wish that they made them a little bit darker, or just made the tones a little bit better, because I think it's too bright. If you look at Katara and you look at Sokka, their costumes I think are really well done, and they fit their vibe. They look a little aged, but I found that Aang looked too bright, especially for everything that's going on. He stood out. Like the whole season, I'm like, this kid is not hiding. Like he's very visible. But the Earthbender costumes, amazing.
And that's one thing I will say about this show. Like the costuming and the attention to detail, whether it's the Fire Nation, the Air Nomad, all of it, like the costumes, they spent some money on those costumes.
They spent some money.
Kudos to the costume designer. Like, even just the attention to detail in Aang's tattoo, the little lines.
I did like that a lot.
Which is not something that's in the animated series. Who knows how long that took?
Yeah, but I did like. I like the attention to detail with there.
What you about to say, Sharronda?
I hated the Fire Nation's wigs.
Yeah, thank you.
Like Aang was looking crazy the whole time.
Crazy.
The only one that looked cool was
Zuko, but that's mostly because he shaved his head.
Zuko daddy.
Ozai?
Yeah, Ozai.
Yeah. He was the only one who, like, everybody else, it was just like, especially the like men generals and stuff. I was like, honey, it's not giving at all.
It was not giving.
You're wearing a wig.
And the mutton chops were weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zaddy Kim was like, yeah. I'm like, damn, y'all trying to make me root for the Fire Lord. I might have to go to the switch sides.
The Fire Nation isn't so bad.
I'm like, yeah, them want to take over the world. I don't see a problem with it, especially if you got him as the leader. Come on now. But yeah, they
I
said
would've been like, I would've
they need black folks on them lace.
I keep saying that. I keep telling y'all, somebody better hire me to do their
I
lace
don't be
fronts, 'cause they're
noticing.
not doing it.
Obviously, I'm not an expert. I don't be noticing the wigs, but like, but a lot of people are saying the same thing. Like the wigs look terrible.
No, the wigs were not given. They were not giving at all.
But what do y'all think about? Because like I mentioned, this show is getting a lot of mixed reviews, and some of it also has to do with the acting, more specifically with regards to like Katara. What do y'all think about Katara, Keanu Tio, her acting?
What was wrong with Katara? Like, what was
people are saying, oh, where's her aggression? She's talking monotone the whole time, and I'm like, I don't think so.
I felt like Katara was always a chill person. It was just when people would doubt her, or if she just felt very strong,
or Sokka,
then she knew to speak up. And I felt like when she needed to speak up, when she needed to curse Sokka out, she did that. When she needed to curse the Southern Water Tribe out, she did that. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't have a problem with any of that. Like, my only thing is sometimes I do think Aang, Gordon overemphasizes his words. He's like, I am the Avatar, and it's very important for me to be here. You know, like, I'm like, what? Important. That's the word. That's the biggest word that he says. It's important. I'm like, why are you saying it like that? Other than that, outside of that, I don't have a problem with like the acting, and I think they're doing a good job, especially like. Granted, there's some controversy with Ian Owsley, maybe he potentially lied about being Cherokee to get the role, but he is Sokka to me.
He is.
When I hear him talk,
lie to get a role,
he doesn't sound exactly like the cartoon, but when I picture him, I picture like he's Sokka.
Yeah.
But how does you feel about them making him so serious?
I mean, the whole show is serious.
Yeah, but like his whole personality is different. Like,
it does feel like they swapped.
Yeah,
they like Katara was the motherly figure of the cartoon. It feels like they made him, instead of it being Katara, he's like the father of the group. But we got to see some of the jokey Sokka, like the moment where he got Katara, you're not getting me on that next and he's screaming on, flying on Appa. So like we got to see some of that. Yeah, or like the jokey moment where Katara's like, they don't know anything about your leadership skills, and he's like, oh yeah. So we get to see some of it, and then as the show goes on, it comes out more and more. But yeah, in these first couple episodes, it's not really, because again, they're at war. All he's caring about is like
protecting the village.
Yeah, I'm 16 years old. I'm like the oldest male here. Like, I need to protect everybody. Like, so he's not going to be, again, like, it's not as cartoonish basically as the cartoon, because not a cartoon. Like, these are child soldiers. So I get, and I do wish there was some more levity, but I kind of get why. But then I also kind of get why the original creators left, because they didn't like the fact that they made it more serious.
And it's interesting
because Netflix wanted to make this more Game of Thrones like in terms of their tone.
Yeah,
the original creators didn't like that, so I can see why people would have a problem with that.
When I saw that the original creators left, I'm like, why would they do that? And I kept questioning it. So while I was watching and I saw some things, I'm like, okay, I get it, because it's not their original vision, and it's not it's not a remake, it's an adaptation. So I think we have this preconceived notion of what it's supposed to be, not realizing that it's not going to be bar for bar the same thing. I think if you came into Avatar not knowing anything and you watch the live action, I think most people would be okay with it. But I think because most of us have seen it for the past 10, 11 years, we've watched it so many times. We grew up with it. So we know what we want to see and what we are expecting. But for your average viewer, they're going to enjoy it. Then again, who is the average viewer? Is the average viewer us who have grown up with it, or are they marketing towards newer audiences?
They're always trying to market towards newer audiences. That's why, like, even The Last of Us, I was like, The Last of Us. I played The Last of Us video games. I 100%ed both of them, but the show isn't for me.
Yeah,
the show is for newer people, and like that's something that, because you always want to try to grow your audience. And I feel like people that have watched and grown up with the show, they're nitpicking a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I agree.
I still feel like people haven't even watched. A lot of people that, like, when I see people saying stuff, like, people be like, this is why I haven't even watched it. Like a lot
Just
of
watch it, and then like.
But like
just give
even
it a
like
shot.
Aang, like in the beginning of the episode where Aang is flying through the air temple, people are complaining like, why is Aang flying? This is stupid. It's like he's not really flying, he's gliding through the air.
Well, they tried to say that where was his glider, and I was like, if you go back to that episode, he wasn't even
didn't use a glider. Yeah,
like
no,
why are you tripping?
Why are you nitpicking?
Like the
you
glider
said.
is used for him to stay in the air, but it doesn't mean he can't just glide and ride air currents. He's not flying. Or like somebody was complaining when we jumped to like episode, what was it, 4, where we see like Azula being covert and getting those people to try to take out the Fire Lord, and then Fire Lord Ozai, he like burnt them, like he brought fire up out of nowhere and burnt them. He's like, he shouldn't be able to do that. There was no fire. Why are they spontaneously combusting? And I'm like, the whole palace in the Fire Lord is surrounded by fire. It's surrounded by fire. How do you know he didn't bring fire from up in the ground? Like, you're just nitpicking at this point.
They are nitpicking.
I feel like a lot of people are doing that throughout this whole. Like, I thought this was a good first episode.
No, this is a very good first episode. It's and it's so close to the original, so I don't know why people are nitpicking. Like, it's kind of, except 1 or 2 scenes, it's exactly like the original. So why are we upset?
Because they just want to be mad.
Do they not just randomly spit fire out? Yeah, they could shoot, but no, he was talking about what I was talking about because like, so say the people were over here, Fire Lord Ozai was here, he just raised his hand and fire came up from under here. It didn't like come out of his hands, it just raised up from under the ground. But I'm like, but the whole palace is surrounded by fire, which will probably include underground. So like, even if there was no fire underground, like, are you really, is that your biggest complaint regarding the show, that he just made fire and burnt them? Like
it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. We're splitting hairs.
But like, yeah, I thought I enjoyed this first episode. Now, I will say, like, it was kind of Gran, the person that played Gran, her reactions. I was talking about acting. I don't know if I liked her as an actor, because there were certain moments where she's just like staring. She's like, I don't know what to do. Right. Okay, Gran. But like they gave the opening speech to her: Earth, fire, water, air. Everybody knows this. I'm like, all right, you should have just gave it to Katara.
Like, yeah. Do it. Stick with the original. Give it to Katara.
They had Aang narrating the second half, right?
Not for this episode, I don't think.
I think it's episode 2.
The second half of this.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. I did not like Gran. I did not like Gran.
I did not enjoy Gran. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave Gran alone.
But yeah, no, they don't talk about that in this version. Her relationship with Paku.
Yeah. Missing out.
But one thing I will say in terms of like the serious tone of this show, which I don't like, because they have Sokka do it and they also have Bumi do it as well. And I don't like one thing about this show. I don't like how they did Bumi. We will get to that episode.
We gonna get to it because
I don't like Bumi at all. Bro, not the actor. I'm not, and it's nothing against the actor. It's how they wrote him.
I would talk for like.
Sharronda?
I know, go ahead, because I feel like Vanta really got to get this off her chest.
I really do. Bumi's episode in the original as a kid was very important to me. And as an adult rewatching it, I'm like, yeah, I love seeing him and the way he acted, the way he tested Aang. He was so different. And this was the first adult to say, Aang, you need to think, you got to think smart because what you're up against is crazy. He was the first adult to say that to Aang. And the way they did him in the show was dirty. I was so upset. I literally was watching it like 2 a.m. in the morning. I turned the TV off. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll watch the rest of this the next day.
I turned the TV off. But yeah, I don't like Bumi at all.
They came back to the message though, because he was like, look, like I had to figure out, do people eat or do they not eat? Like, do people get to go to school or not? Like, I had to figure out all these hard decisions, and like you sitting up here bitching about you don't want to do your job. And I've been doing this for
forever.
Years. I had to watch the war begin, continue to happen, and do the best that I can. And you bitching about being asleep for 100 years, and you only been back for a couple of weeks, months. Like, what's good?
No,
But nah,
I
I didn't like how bitter they made him because, and this is what I was going to say again in terms of like the serious tone. Like,
wouldn't you be bitter if you had to watch your people, like you had to watch people be murdered for 100 years?
I get
But I
that,
feel like
but
they did it
also
too
like Aang
much.
has explained to people, and even Sokka talking about this episode, he was trapped in ice. Like,
But
it's
Bumi
not
is
like
the only person that has actually been alive during
The
Aang's
whole
time.
thing.
but he told the
Wow.
but Aang told the story of what happened to him. Like, because Bumi was like, "Oh, we had to fight in this war while you got to sleep for 100 years."
Yeah,
It's
Aang
not like I went on vacation. I was trapped in ice for 100 years.
You're giving me first world problems. You were on a 5-star resort sleep, okay?
It's not 5-star resort.
You was asleep, okay? You didn't age.
Yeah, but it's not like he chose
He
to do that.
chose
And
to,
also,
yeah.
at the end of the day, he's still a 12-year-old kid.
Okay.
He's
And
still
Bumi
12.
was 12 and had to grow up. And that's what Aang needs to do, is grow the F up.
Yeah, but Bumi got to grow up.
He didn't. Bumi lost, if you really sit and think about it, Bumi lost his childhood just like Aang lost his childhood. Because Bumi then became a child of war. And Bumi had to become an adult and figure out how he was going to help defend the Fire Nation.
But
And
how
exactly
that
what
he
you're saying.
becomes king.
Bumi got to figure it out. He had 100 years to figure it out.
Figure it
Aang
out.
just woke up 2 days ago.
But Bumi didn't get to figure it out. You don't get to figure nothing out when you're in the middle of war. Bumi had to survive for 100 years.
We need to save this argument for episode 3.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I agree with both of you. I agree more that I was really mad about Bumi, but I see exactly what you mean, Sharronda. But we gotta save it.
Okay, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna let it go.
Somebody said he
marinate on
wasn't
it,
sleeping.
though.
He was being preserved by the Avatar spirit. He would have drowned otherwise.
He was asleep. He didn't even know what was going on.
You're acting like he had a Tempur-Pedic mattress. My boy was trapped.
Yeah, he wasn't on a purple
He didn't have
bed.
no
Like,
vaccines. He didn't have nothing. He was fine. Okay, my man's act like he would just sleep overnight and woke up 100 years later. Come on, y'all. Like, come on now.
I still didn't like Grant. I get
it.
Yeah, he would be bitter, but I don't like that they're they're just blaming Aang for everything.
And for everything.
I mean,
everything.
I just
Like,
feel
even
like,
Sokka, when he was like, "Oh, you ran away. This is why we're in the war, because you're a coward." And he ran away. Like, I literally just told you
I
I
don't
was
think
trapped.
that's fair
I
either.
literally just told you I was trapped in ice. Like,
But
I
Bumi
didn't.
knows him. I think that's the difference. Like, Bumi knows him. That was his friend. So, like, he like, bruh, like, you grew up during this time. So imagine, like, how you feeling. Imagine having to see all of this happen for 100 years. Like,
But if you're his friend, then why is he acting like this? Because if you're your friend and you say to you, "Yeah, but I was trapped in ice this whole time," your friend would be like, "Oh, I get it. I know who you are. I know you wouldn't have run away from your responsibility like that. So why is he acting all crazy?"
this is like you was at work slaving and your coworker went out, which caused you to have more work to do while they was gone. And they come back from vacation like, "Hey, y'all,
But he wasn't on
He wasn't on vacation.
Okay, so or like I don't know, the best thing, maybe they were in the hospital or something. He wasn't on vacation though.
Because he was gone, and I know it wasn't his fault. There was no other Avatar to be born, so my man had to suffer. Yeah, I think all the previous generations they had an Avatar to protect them. Yeah. Everybody had to protect themselves. Like it was the Wild Wild West. It was the Walking Dead outside. Okay, like, everybody fighting.
It was Gotham. It was straight Gotham. No Batman.
So no, in the cartoon he ran away.
Yeah.
But in this version, he didn't run away. He just flew off to go think. He was like, I just need time to think. I'm just go, I'm just go catch my breath. But then during that time, that's when the Fire Nation attacked. But he was on his way back. Like when the storm started ramping up, he's like, "Okay, not Boomy, but Appa's getting a little rough. We should turn back around." But then he got swallowed by that wave.
But let me give another perspective to this, okay? Because I think also too is, why were you gone in the first place? And if you would have been there and you would have got killed, at least we would have only been in this for like 10, 15 years until another Avatar was born.
That's true.
But because you wanted to go on a little
it wouldn't have been the same, because it would have just created the same. It would have just been the same thing all over again, because the reason that they took out the Airbenders is because they wanted to prevent the Avatar from rising. Now, at least Aang is old enough where he could try to start to learn the other elements. You kill Aang, it's going to go to the water tribe. So now they're just going to look for the next Avatar. They're going to try to take out the waterbenders.
That's why they were taking everybody out, though. They were also taking out waterbenders too, because they thought that they had.
But they realized that the next Avatar was going to be an airbender. So that's why they went and they attacked the airbender.
So yeah, they would have killed the waterbenders next.
Remember, that's why they stopped. Remember, they were stopping the waterbenders from bending as well. They were taking them out too.
Well, yeah, in this verse, I'm talking about in the beginning when they first went out, because you said if he was still alive 100 years ago, and then you could have got the next Avatar.
That's fine. But the way y'all still gonna lose this is my man now knows that he has to save the world, and he still ain't decided to learn any other element to be. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
He did go a whole season and not practice.
Didn't practice nothing.
My man knows
It's called water, and he ain't learned no water.
My man got midterms coming up, and like
and he ain't
trying to study. Like,
why he got regents and he's not studying? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So yeah, I do feel that. That's a big complaint of mine too, especially because the whole season is about I got to get to the Northern Water Tribe and save them. Kyoshi gave me this vision. Okay.
What are you gonna do about it?
And I like how like Paku at the end he was like, so this whole time you were traveling, you ain't practiced not one time.
And they were asking the right mother effing questions, okay? So like, because I was sitting there like, so you not gonna pick up a scroll with Katara? You could at least like be learning with Katara. You should have been a master waterbender by the time you made it to
he's the kid.
Y'all talking about Aang like y'all didn't procrastinate in school.
I didn't have to worry about the whole class.
Listen, you didn't have to worry about me procrastinating in school. I was up at the front. I was the one learning everything, straight A's and B's. Nope.
Me procrastinating in school didn't end the world though. That's
right. I'm not trying to save the world here. I just was trying to get to college, okay? But no, I don't know. I think we have to remember he's a child. He's a child. He's 12. He's not even 13. He's still a kid in his mind. And so the weight of the world is on him, and he doesn't know how to handle that pressure yet.
Y'all he be 12 like he like 5 or like 6 or 7. Like listen, a teenager basically.
Basically, but I don't know.
But he's a teenager with the whole world on his. There's the reason in the cartoon the Avatar doesn't learn who they are until they're at least 16.
Yep. Like Kyoshi, yeah.
But because of circumstances, he had to learn early. Like even when you get to the end of the season where Paku was like, okay, Aang, we need to do this, it's like, is nobody gonna teach me waterbend? Like, I don't know the other elements. Like, y'all looking at me to join this fight. I only know airbending.
He can't do anything.
Yeah, like, and it's the same thing in the beginning of this episode where they're like, we need to send Avatar to the water to learn the other elements. It's like y'all already in the midst of war. Like, what is he gonna do? He's 12.
He's 12.
Like, it takes years to learn the other elements. Not
years, not months.
Yeah, like y'all talking about go protect the Earth Kingdom. Like it's gonna take him years just to learn waterbending. Then he's gotta take years to learn earthbending. And then who the hell's gonna teach him fire? Because y'all are getting the war against the Fire Nation.
Crazy.
Y'all like this whole ain't learn how to do these elements quicker in the show.
Well, that's different though. I'm just we're not talking about Katara learning in like one night. I'm just talking about in general.
In general, yeah.
Well, yeah, no. Korra came out the womb throwing water, earth, and fire.
Korra's in a different category.
But yeah, Korra's in a different category. She ain't no air.
And technically, Kyoshi is in a different category too. But that's because Kyoshi's just dumb powerful. In the book, she's crazy powerful.
I was disappointed in that Kyoshi episode though, when she showed up. All she did was like do a tornado, but like I wanted to see her bending. Like
I think they're gonna make give her a standalone show. So maybe I'm hoping.
I feel like this show knows what we want because
and they won't give it to
barely. The war started because of Roku. We barely got to see Roku in the show. It was all Kyoshi.
Where's Roku? We need. That was something that kind of pissed me off because the episode with Roku and Aang I felt like was really important, and I didn't get the essence. Like, what are we doing here?
But yeah, it was all Kyoshi. So I'm like, I feel like they're doing that. I don't know if they're doing that because they're teasing that we're doing a live action Kyoshi movie or show. Well, I think it's a movie.
I think it's a movie.
Or because I'm like, yeah, we didn't go into Roku at all, but I do like. Granted, I know this is talking about other episodes, but I do like we got to see other avatars.
Yeah. Yeah. So did I. Oh, it's in another episode. We can't talk about it. I was gonna talk about the Avatar state and why that made me mad, but for the next episode.
Did y'all like Azula?
Yes. But I'm biased. I'm very biased.
I don't care for this Azula because the other Azula was like a psychopath and like I don't know. She just wasn't giving it.
Yeah, but I think part of that is because
storyline
animation. She looks if you said Azula was a 20-year-old woman,
I would believe you.
You would believe, yeah, but Azula's 14, so you have an actual 14-year-old being a psycho. So you're kind of like, I ain't scared of this fucking shit. Like,
but I think this one she's a little more calculating. I think she's using her youth, like you said, to kind of hide that, and I think she's using this to really become who she is. I think she's very cunning. We're just not seeing it yet.
So I think that's probably. But I like Azula. I don't like the people, the characters that are playing Mai and Ty Lee. I feel like their act. So talking about acting, I think their acting is a little dry.
Yeah, they're a little crunchy.
But I like
because Azula ain't got nothing to do yet.
No, but even the little bit that Azula did, I still liked her on screen. But like,
yeah,
or the little bit that we saw Ozai, I still liked Ozai. But like,
honestly, I think the best actor really is Zuko. Like, I feel like he shines the most out of everybody.
Agreed. Because I also don't really care for Iroh that much. At least how they're writing him. Not
okay. They should have had an older actor play him because you can tell it's a young person.
Yeah, he's younger than he's supposed to be older than Ozai, but he's actually the actor is actually younger than Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no.
But yeah, but I don't feel because Ozai or Iroh is the dragon of the West. He's like when Iroh got mad or like he was ready to throw hands, like you knew don't fuck with him.
Don't fuck with him.
I don't feel that from this version. I don't feel that from this version of Iroh. He just feels like a cuddly old man.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get the dragon of the West from this version of Iroh.
And I don't get
like
that
even when
impression either from others.
How would you say?
I don't even get that impression from others either. I don't feel like they're like, oh, it's Iroh. We got.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like even when he in the cartoon, when he threatened Zhao, when he was like, Zhao, if you touch that spirit, I'm gonna fuck you up, basically. And Zhao got scared for a second. But in this show, he was just like, I ain't stunting you. Like,
I ain't worrying you.
Yeah, like I was just like, come on now, y'all doing Iroh dirty, man. But
it's the wig.
It's the wig.
I can't take you serious with that wig.
Can't feel him.
Iroh's wig wasn't that. What was how was Zhao's wig?
No,
that was terrible.
The Fire Nation's wigs are not good. The only person, like Ozai's wig is okay, just okay.
He's just fine.
Yeah, he is fine.
The way he had the top of his little ab meat showing.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
tasty. Oh, I said, tasty. Burn me.
Tasty.
That's what I said. I said I'm gonna be rooting for the Fire Nation the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be on the wrong side of history because I'm gonna stick beside him.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
Ozai's sex appeal makes his wig look better.
Sadly, yes.
Can I be a concubine?
Honestly, it is true. The way the sex appeal and it's
can I be a concubine?
Yeah, that moment when he was fighting Zuko, I was like, damn,
Zuko, you alright, but I see your daddy. I see you, zaddy.
Okay, he has a little titty meat out. I was like, okay,
daddy Day Kim.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, overall, I thought it was a good first episode.
Yeah,
it does feel like because I'm glad that every episode is like a straight hour for the most part. Unlike a lot of shows on Disney Plus, they're like, oh, it's an hour, and they be like 35 minutes, 23 minutes. Like this show is
an actual solid hour.
Yeah, it's a good solid hour. I think this episode was maybe a little over an hour. So I
at least, 2 minutes or
yeah. So I at least appreciate that because it's a lot, especially when you're trying to inject 20 minutes or 20 episodes into an 8-episode season, so it is a lot of rush. But I think for at least for this first episode, they did a good job establishing the world and the lore in this first episode.
Yeah.
So,
and they didn't do a lot of world building. You just kind of saw it and caught on very quickly.
Yeah, I do wish they kind of explained, like, because when he said to Momo, I bet you taste like chicken. Chicken what?
Like chicken what? I mean, all the animals are morphed in here.
Chicken.
Like, do they have regular chicken?
Yeah, they got regular. Yeah, like that's weird.
I will say though, I like the animals. I think that they did a good job with the CGI. I know this is later on, but the badger moles, that had me.
Oh yeah, the badger. Even Momo and Appa.
Appa look really good. You bring in
Appa and Momo. They look really good too.
Yeah, but seeing they looked really good. But when I saw the badger mole, I was actually kind of scared. Like, I'm just like, damn, them shits are huge.
And granted, I know it costs a lot of money in the CGI, but I do wish we spent more time with Appa and Momo. Especially once you get to how the season ends and what they do with Momo. It's like I didn't feel it because we don't see Momo that much.
Yeah, like you said, CGI it's expensive.
But still, like, so is the bending. Like, so we should.
Yeah.
So if they were gonna do what they did with Momo at the end, we should have got to at least. There should have been an episode where we saw more Momo.
Yeah.
Because I didn't when I was like, oh, I think they were gonna kill. I was like, I don't feel it because like
you don't feel it because he's not in it. He's not relevant. So not that he's not relevant. You don't see him enough to have an attachment.
But yeah, with that, listen to Jessica, guys. It's hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm, getting this live video out there, just my channel out there in general. And then also follow these lovely people if you haven't already. Sharronda, Pay Her Weight, Vanta creates. They create lots of great content. So give them a follow. Rooting for everybody Black, and it's still Black History Month. If you don't follow each and every single one of them, you're anti-Black. Yeah,
anti-Black.
So, Sharronda, what do you overall talk about? What would you say is your biggest complaint of this first episode or just the season in general?
The wigs. Mainly the Fire Nation wig.
I'm so glad. Listen, you're on my side. I agree.
Fire Nation wigs.
Fire Nation wigs need to be on fire.
On Azula. It may be because they changed the dynamic, the family dynamic between him and his kids.
That's hilarious.
And I just want. Yeah, I think I was really disappointed in the princess. I was like, "Ooh, honey, you're not giving." That's not about.
I said that, but the thing I didn't realize, it's the same girl, and I really liked her from Prey.
Oh,
yeah,
it's the same actress. It's the same actress.
See, I'm so biased, but I'm holding out. I'm like, I know she has it in her. I know it's coming. The psycho is coming. I'm just waiting for it. She's plotting. I know she's plotting. So maybe that's why I'm like not, so disappointed in her. But like I said, I'm very biased. Azula is one of my favorites.
Hold on, let me
Wait,
pull
what's
it up.
going on in the secret tunnel, Big Kittle? Oh, or you had an issue with the secret tunnel because it was supposed to be Aang and Katara?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Did you say Big Kittle?
Oh, what is it? Is that Big Kittle?
Say Yu Yu Hakusho. Say Yu Yu Hakusho.
Isn't that Big Kittle?
No, I mean, it's Big Kid Al.
Big Kittle. I'm crying. She's wearing glasses. She said, "I cannot see."
Big Kittle.
Big Kittle is that's your name from now on.
Yeah, that's his name. That's his name from now on.
Big Kittle. At least you didn't say Big Titty. Big Kittle. I'm crying.
Well, yeah, that's Al. That's Al in the chat.
Sleep deprivation. I'm sorry.
Sharronda, you're a mess.
I'm so sorry.
She said, "Let me put on my glasses."
I know it's the glasses for me.
I was okay. I thought I was good.
Hold on, let me share this. So you see the wig. You see the wig.
Baby, don't do this to me.
It's
Don't do this to me.
It's giving you went on Etsy. It's giving you went.
Damn, not Etsy.
Like,
It's giving Sheen. It's giving Sheen.
okay.
Okay.
I gotta,
Don't do this.
I cannot believe that. Like, I really read that wrong. I'm so sorry. I was dead ass looking at y'all like, what y'all mean? It's Big Kittle.
Big.
You put on her glasses and be like, no, I know what I'm seeing.
And low-key, I was like, I still see it. Like, what y'all mean? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like again, because I think the actress that plays Suki, she was gorgeous. Yue, I was like, it's not.
I loved her.
It's not giving moon spirit. I'm sorry.
It's not giving moon spirit.
Yeah, it's not giving my girlfriend turned into the moon.
No, it's not giving ethereal moon goddess. It was just.
But with that said, but with that said, all the people that are like really complaining, because like I said, all I see it on my algorithm now is people complaining about the show, and all their complaints are just so nitpicky. Like overall, I don't think this, especially on Beyonce's internet and Janet Jackson's Wi-Fi signal, we have the original live action version that exists.
We don't talk about that. We are not.
The movie that shall not be named. You got that, and then you look at this and say it's trash. Absolutely not.
It's not even comparable.
It's
not even
way closer. It's way closer in comparison to the original animated.
At least they say their names right in this.
Yeah, at least they don't say Aang and Iro.
Who's Aang?
The Avatar.
The Avatar.
Avocado?
Really?
Like, what's going on? But overall, I think it was a strong first episode. I enjoyed the series. I enjoyed the show in general. Let me get my Momo on here. Vanta, your turn. What you say is your biggest complaint? Because it's not perfect. So what'd you say?
It's not perfect.
What'd you say, Sharronda?
That's Momo?
Yeah, it's Momo.
That's Momo.
I've been showing them the whole time. I got Momo and Appa.
That's like the real Momo?
It's real. What do you mean the real Momo?
That's like Nickelodeon branded Momo. Why Momo look like that? Momo kind of look like Wi-Fi.
She said your Momo look like it's from Wish.
Man, not you disrespecting my Momo. This is like licensed. This is licensed brand Momo. Thank you.
Damn.
Ooh,
Yeah, she said my Momo looked like Yue's wig. Like, dang.
Yue's wig quality. Damn.
That's
Disrespect. Yes, this is Nickelodeon brand Momo.
Ooh, Nickelodeon. What was y'all doing? Okay.
Don't disrespect my Momo like that. Anyway.
Momo I saw, but okay.
Anyway, Vanta.
I'm sorry.
Bumi's episode really. When we talk about it, we'll talk about it because I'm gonna rewatch it, take some notes, and y'all hear me rambling. That episode didn't do it well for me, but again, the wigs are not great. But I do enjoy the costuming for most of it. So overall, I think the season, like I said in the beginning, it's good. It's not amazing. It's not perfect. It's good. It's better than the live action, but it's good. Y'all are harsh on the hair.
All that heat going around, being a fire, and ain't nowhere their hair could look like anything but messed up, and the humidity going around.
That's not.
It's not even that they hair. We're not saying that the hair not done.
It's just not done well.
Yeah, it just looks like a wig. Like,
it's not done well.
Also, too, I do have one more gripe.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually with Zuko. If I see him do that whole little flip kick with the fire,
whoa! I love
That's
that.
the only move he knows. Let him shine. Let him shine his kick move.
You're trading your whole right to find the avatar, and that's the only move you know.
But it looks cool.
Exactly,
No,
it looks cool.
It looked cool the first couple of times, and then when I was watching, I was like, "Here he finna go with this kick again. Go ahead, do the kick, Zuko. Do the kick, because that's all you know how to do." It was too much for me. I'm sorry. I was like, "Baby, I want you to learn a new move, honey."
Sharronda said, "Where's your choreography? Get it together."
Actually, that is a good. That now that I think about that, I will say, like, in terms of like the choreography, I don't think it stands out as much because the different nations are based on 4 different kung fu styles, and you really get to see that in the cartoon. But I kind of feel like you don't really see it. It's not as prominent.
No, not
in
at all.
The animated series of like all that. Like it almost kind of seems like they're all kind of just doing the same thing. but just different elements are coming out. You don't
and
really see the four different kung fu styles representing the 4 nations. So I will say in terms of that, the choreography and the fight choreography could be stronger in that aspect in terms of the show.
That's a really good point, because I did like some of the fight choreography. I was like, okay, this looks okay. But now that you say that, I'm gonna watch again, and I'm gonna really nitpick and critique, because you're right. If they're based off of 4 different kung fu, they're not martial artists, correct? But they should have had martial art training. If you're going to represent
that's what I was gonna say.
Like, why would you not? Earthbenders are based off Hanga, but they're not doing Hanga moves. So what are we doing here? And I think that distinction would have really made the choreography perfect.
Agreed.
It's
like
good,
even
but not perfect.
with like airbending is always about avoiding and countering. Like when you think about the first episode, he went behind Zuko's back and Zuko's trying to turn and Aang's turning at the same time with him. And or even Bumi talked about, just like an airbender, you're always avoiding. Like we don't get to see like the turning and all, like you don't really see like the standout of the different movement.
Okay, Demo, you better demonstrate for us.
I mean, I am wearing the Aang shirt, so I am the Avatar. So I do know
you are the Avatar.
So that is one thing I do wish, because even like Denai Guerrera isn't a martial artist, but she was throwing shit down in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, when she fought the Atlanteans.
But if you have a martial arts teacher, you can learn and mimic the different techniques. Like I think it's just a little bit laziness.
Granted, I'm not saying they should be like flipping and doing like impossible things. I'm just saying that the difference is I'm just saying the differences in the style should be more defined. That's all I was saying.
I agree. I mean, listen, as a cosplayer, if I'm up at 2 a.m. looking up Hanga techniques, I think they can do it. I think they can do the same thing. Come on, put a little more effort.
Yeah, the Avengers aren't real superheroes, but Scarlet sure looks like she is. Yeah, so like that's really all
I don't know. Maybe she's trained to be a witch. Maybe she was meeting up with the Wiccans. You never know.
Not that Scarlet Johansson.
Oh, wrong one.
But anyway, so yeah, I think my biggest complaint regarding the show is just like, I feel like a lot of it just felt rushed overall, but that's also because they only had 8 episodes, so they had to rush. But they could have fixed that by easily just doing 10 episodes, because by the time you got to the end, Katara's like, I'm already a master, boom. But she never trained, not one time. I mean, Grant, she never trained with a master, not one time in the show, versus the cartoon. Like in the cartoon, she at least got to train with Master Paku.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got to see that.
At least she was,
especially because they had that same line in the cartoon where Zuko was like, "Oh, it looks like you found a master, haven't you?" And it's like, no, she hasn't.
No, she hasn't.
She learned on her own. And it's like, why did they even put that line in there? Because it's iconic, but it didn't make sense. But so I think that's my biggest thing. Like, stop doing these 8 episodes. Like we've learned time and time again, whether it's with Percy Jackson, all these other shows, like 8 episodes is just not enough.
Not enough. Not enough.
I'm not saying you need to do 22 episodes. I'm not saying you need to do 22 episode television again, but at least 10 to 12 episodes.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. In their defense, how many minutes is a regular Avatar episode?
20.
So if you think about it, they technically did like 16 hours. I mean, 16 hours, but y'all know 16 episodes.
Yeah, but even if you add 20 episodes or 22 episodes, and then still do like an hour each of 8 episodes, you still have more of the cartoon than you did the show.
It doesn't add up equivocally. Like, yes, you have an hour show, but you're not getting an hour's worth of content. Because there's things that they're filling in. There's things that
stories out too.
Yeah.
Wait, again?
Jet also didn't get enough screen time for me.
No. I thought Mai was good. I thought she was kind of cool.
Yeah, even that whole thing was rushed too, the whole Jet thing, and then but it is what it is. But we only got 8 episodes. We ain't got time. But with that said,
got time.
Speaking of time, we out of time here. I'm especially Sharronda, like, I'm not gonna be on this chat for no 2 hours. I'm not gonna be on here for 2 hours. I'm not gonna be on here 2 hours, Sharronda. I'll try to,
I'm fighting for my life, okay?
Because y'all know when I go live, I'll be on here for like 2 hours.
2 hours. Yep.
This is my bedtime, and I got to pack.
Oh, where you go?
With that said, so guys, again, hit that bell notification button. Join us every single Monday. Hopefully, maybe Sharronda will join us next week for episode 2. Look, she's making that face. Why are you making that face? But regardless of who's gonna be here, somebody gonna be here. Whether it's Vanta, well, I told Vanta she don't got no choice. She gonna be here every week.
Yo, whenever we do episode 3, I think I'm gonna be very heated. So
oh no, I'm gonna be heated too. Well, maybe episode 4 is what I'll be heated about because that's the Bumi episode. That's the Bumi episode. But yeah, every Monday we're gonna do every single episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Maybe talk Easter egg. I didn't really talk Easter eggs that much in this episode, but whatever. We're gonna talk about each
next
episode.
we will.
Next episode we will. But so hit the bell notification button. So again, hopefully we'll keep it to 7:00, but maybe it's 7:30. You never know. But also, I just dropped my review, non-spoiler review for Dune Part 2. So check that out. And then with that, guys, tell everybody where they can find you. Vanta, you first.
You can find me on all platforms as Vanta Creates. Stay tuned for all the cool stuff that I'm going to be doing.
And what you got coming up?
I got Awesome Con coming up. I'm going to be Ahsoka the White. And then I've got some other fun projects for X-Men premiering on the 20th. So stay tuned for those.
All right, Sharronda, tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up.
You can find me at Pay or Wait. I don't have nothing coming up because I got to leave town. So...
Leave town. Where you going?
I gotta go to LA, man. So
she talking about she don't got nothing coming up, but she going to LA. What you going to LA for? A red carpet? Who you interviewing? You can't talk about it. So she got stuff coming up. She got stuff coming up. Talking about she don't got nothing coming up. She lying. Wait a minute. Jessica, thank you for the $20 super chat. Glad to see you guys. Keep being awesome. Thank you. With that, guys. She said, you okay? You get kidnapped? You getting kidnapped? But yeah, guys, you already know where to find me because you're on my channel. I need to still watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'll review that. I still need to watch Has Been Hotel. Got to review that as well.
It's very gay. You will like it.
And yeah, that's what I heard. They were like, I'm surprised you didn't talk about that. Yeah, I'm like, it's a lot going on. And
There's so much going on.
And I still work a full-time job, guys. Like
so much going on.
Yeah, like I got shit. I'm not like Sharronda, who's a full-time content creator.
Ew, I know that's right. Full-time content creator.
You just said you're going to LA, like.
And I still gotta work my 9 to 5 in LA.
Damn. She's a hustler.
Which is content creation. She worked for nothing. Anyway, guys, join us next week for the stream and go watch Dune 2 when it comes out. Peace. We out.